Good morning. As you can see, the molasses truck has arrived. Clouds are darkening in the skies. We are doing everything we can to stimulate the rain. So we are leaving bags out untied. We are leaving mineral out untied, stuff that really shouldn't be getting wet. We're restocking on molasses. That is really a real go-to for folks that have used it when their pastures get too dry and they can't sustain the cattle as well. So we're doing all these things because if you're into superstition or anything like that, or coincidence or whatever you want to call it, if you leave everything out that can't get wet and you get a good inventory of stuff that is a real benefit in a drought, you'll just bring on that rain like crazy. If you don't do any of this stuff, it'll never rain. So we're doing our best around here. I'm gonna get over there and help the Mr. Gizmo, and we're going to get some of this pumped off. Then part of this load is actually going up to Rycroft. There's some folks up there that need it, so we will get lined up and get going. All right, well, Mr. Molasses himself is off, so we are gonna find the telehandler. Better check the oil. I gotta see how my my coolant tank that Corey fixed is holding up. She did a good job on it. I don't see any drips. See if it's still full. Oh yeah, still full. So that's a win. I should blow out the air filter too, I suppose. I'll do that later today. Oil. Bang. I don't understand. I cannot get the oil to come clean on this. Every time I change the oil, I flush it with a little bit of diesel. Try to flush out I know there's probably some coal dust or something in the bottom of that pan, maybe some dirt. I guess a guy could take the pan right off, and clean it out, get a new gasket. But let's be honest, I'm not going to do that. So over here yet, on a rain day, we got to come out and build some shelves in here is our plan. And then, yeah. That'll be better. Then we can put up all the stuff we need. Various trinkets like, what do you call that? Promo stuff and information on all the products. Because we're getting quite a few things. And I know for my little brain, it's getting hard to keep an inventory or even like a decent product information blurb to let people know, why things are good. So they always tell you that their stuff is the best, right? When you talk to these salesmen, but in all reality, I mean, a lot of the stuff is just it's just comparable, right? So you gotta do that research yourself to find out if in fact things are better, or if they're just better because somebody said they were better. And I'm not, I don't go to the defense or the aid of really any of the salesmen. I leave that up to them to convince folks to use their product or not. Well, good evening. I'm not sure how much you're going to be able to see here, but that's all smoke. That's wildfire smoke. About 5 miles to the west, and the wind is blowing right out of the west. So we got smoked right in a couple hours ago. So we don't need to worry about camping anymore. We're going to have the smell of smoke right in the yard for the next week. What are we doing? Well, we just finished watching the hockey game, and holy man, I'm not exactly sure how Dallas even made it to the final round. They suck. I was actually kind of rooting for them. A little bit of a provocateur, just kind of, everybody around here. Not that we watch a lot of hockey, but when we do, we obviously want your Alberta or Canada team to win. So I was like, well, we'll see if we can get another game out of it anyways. But anyways, I guess Edmonton won, so good on that. But we're in here because we got no water in the house. So, let me shut some things off here. I was in here the other day and I had taken this cap off. This pressure switch is for the new well. That pressure switch was for the old well. So when I took it off, and maybe it'll do it again here, let's see. Oh, it kind of turns on, but it's it was smoking the other day, so I was actually going to switch it out. I think I should switch it out for safety reasons. Anyways, when I come in here the other day, it was like smoking out of there, so I'm not sure what's not touching what or what's not computing, but anyways. Probably time for a new one. And that's okay. This one don't owe us much. So I'll take that one out. And we do have had a new one sitting on the shelf. So we also got one hanging up here that isn't that old either. I'm going to put this one on. This one has a low cutout. See how that works. Well, I'm going to call that a win. So that, a couple years ago this failed. And I mean, I just got pressure switches everywhere. I don't know where the rest of the guts for this cap are, but there's a brand new one there that I just grabbed out of the shop. This is the one that failed. The one on the far side is for the old well. The one closest to us is the one I just switched on. Now that's a new one. We've never had one of those before. It's got a low cutout too, so it's actually got a switch on the side, which I guess I never understood why you'd want it. But I guess the theory behind it is if you blow a line or something and you happen to not be here, it will just cut itself off and not flood your house, I suppose. Like if if it was feeding your house. If you blew a line in the house or something. So, I mean, it's kind of an alright safety feature. We couldn't use it when I originally bought it because we were filling our water trailer out of here. And as soon as you open up this 1-inch valve, it would trigger on low PSI or whatever, and it wouldn't kick itself back in. So, now that we are using the old well again to fill the to fill the water trailer, all that pressure switch is doing is feeding the house and then the waters and the mobile home over there. So maybe it'll work. And of course, right, obviously you can't take any of this stuff back once you've got it out of the box, certainly not once you've put it on. So we'll just put that one on and we'll let it do its million cycles until it fails as well. And then we'll put that brand new one on there. There was still actually a used one in there too, so I'm not sure why we had half a dozen pressure switches, but it's nice and it's very important to have that kind of stuff when you're on your farm, right? So we are of course blessed here to have the shop that was basically has been gradually being stocked for like 45 years. The old bachelors that lived here and had originally built that shop before my parents bought this place, so they had all their stuff in there, and then my parents bought it and they spent all those years acquiring tools and parts and things, and now we are in the process of acquiring tools and parts and things. So you can often get yourself out of a bind without having to run to town. So you can just imagine if you didn't have half a dozen pressure switches or even a brand new one sitting on the shelf. It's now 7, 8, I don't even know what it is. I don't have my watch on. I think it's probably 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. You'd have to, I guess, I don't know, just have a switch over there and flip it on while the family was showering in the morning, and then flip it off and then run to town tomorrow morning to get a switch or whatever, right? You would be, it would affect the way you operated, but because we have all that stuff and some spare parts, we can, we don't have to go back in time. We can have running water in the house, and I am a big fan of that. So Anyways, I'm gonna go inside now. I'm gonna wash up. And I don't know, it's starting to taste really gross and smoky in my mouth. I don't like that, so might find a sweet drink or something and then call her an evening. It's also takes your breath away working in that smoke. So, as always, thanks for watching, and we will see you all on the next one. Well, good morning. We'll do the daily rain check. Yep. Not even a drop. That's fun. I don't know if you can see the aura around my tree turning green. We've been watering this guy pretty hard, and I'm pretty sure that he's like turning greener than he was before. So there was a gentleman here yesterday, picked up a bag of feed who knows lots about trees, and he was like, oh yeah, the tree don't look good. Then he said, well, I want to go check it out. He was looking for all different things in the like the bottom of the tree here, like I think he said beetle tubes, or I don't know, he knows lots about trees. But when he got closer, he's like, you know what, man, I think he might be all right. Like, you know, he went from having a 0% chance of survival when he was standing over there to when he got close, he was like, I don't know, maybe 30% chance survival. So that made my day. I was really happy because I really don't want to see this tree die. So we had a busy week. It is Friday now. Busy week of just making feed. Monday we had that big truckload of stuff show up. So Monday was unload, sort of do a little bit of an inventory. Then I think, what did we build shelves Monday? It was either Monday or Tuesday. We never even got into the feed making because we were trying to organize this feed shed a little bit because we were running into issues with space. If we ever do get a rain, we need to have a bunch of this middle space opened so we can stick all the bags that are out and about under a roof. And we couldn't do that because everything that's up on top there used to be sitting out here in the middle. Now we just have things like salt blocks and Summit forage cubes and pellets and nuggets and some hard tubs, things like that. So anyways, we're pretty impressed with the way this all turned out. We are not carpenters and we're not builders, so our shelves are the way they are. I don't know if you can see on this side, we made the shelves stop at the 6x6, and that was dumb because we had to end up putting these rough cut timbers to keep them up. But over here, we overlapped, so they're way stronger. And then we put in about a bajillion more nails. I got that fancy Milwaukee battery powered nailer for an early Father's Day gift. So that's a win because hammering all those nails was unpleasant. But I guess I should get to work, and I actually came in here to get my coat is why I came in here, because it's only 8 degrees. And I was not at all built for the cold. I do not like it. I do not like it one bit. So below about 10, 15 degrees, this guy's wearing a winter jacket. I almost feel like getting long johns. I am not, I'm not sad about the cold though, because with no rain for 3-4 weeks here, and the horrendous wind we had for 2.5 weeks while we were seeding, it's plenty dry. So that scorching 32 degrees yesterday, or the day before, was not helping our moisture situation. This 8 degrees and overcast. In fact, I'm not exactly sure what this means, but it's like a column of these lower clouds or whatever. I don't know. It's like a really defined line there. But the cool overcast, I think, obviously helps out a bit. It doesn't dry out so fast. I was really hoping we were going to start to see some dew set in the mornings, but haven't really been having that either. So I don't think the grass is. See, the grass, you kick your shoes through, it doesn't get wet. All right, well, should start the sprinkler on the garden too. That usually brings on a rain. Anyways, I got to run into town today to the school. They got buddy lunch, so I'm only gonna make a couple of bags here right off the start. Check my oil. Check the coolant again. I'm pretty sure Corey got this situated with her plastic tank repair kit. Looks like enough for me. Good deal. Well, good afternoon. It's 5 o'clock, I believe. Actually, I just ran over to Mr. Monkman Machining, and he had to redo this, what do you want to call it, bushing that rides on that shaft and that bevel gear sits on. So he did that back in December, and I don't know why it come apart. I was greasing it. Anyways, he did some different things, cut some bigger grease, whatever you want to call them, grooves in there. And then he said, okay, if that doesn't hold up, we'll do something different. And I know I've raved about the guy like quite a bit over the last couple of years, certainly over this last year on YouTube, but it is just amazing to have that resource just like whatever it is, 5-6 miles away. It's like totally crazy. Because I messaged him at like 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. So I mean, he was still open, still in a shop. And I was like, you know, do you think you could get this done today so I can get my mail empty and it might rain, I don't know. And he's like, yeah, no problem, bring it over. So anyways, it was over. Well, my dad went to get the part. We trimmed Buddy's tusks. The squeeze worked. We never filmed it, but it did work. Well, good morning. It's about, what is it? It's actually 11 o'clock now. So we were just kind of sitting around this morning being super depressed. We are currently sitting at a 70 to 90% chance of rain that was supposed to start at 4 in the morning. Not a drop. I don't even know if the clouds are dark enough to even have rain in them. But we did hear from some folks to the southeast, it's raining. And I mean, I guess that's just the way it is this year. We are going to miss every single rain. We are going to get absolutely nothing that is predicted. We do get the odd splash of rain on days where they have nothing predicted, but that's not amounting to anything. When you look out into the wheat that's been in the ground for 30 days, you really shouldn't be able to see any dirt. And you can. So that's super disappointing. Let's just take a walk out there. Now, a few years ago, I did make a shift to try to be optimistic and less angry all the time. That wasn't sitting too well with people. Certainly the family, right, that I deal with every day. Nobody was having a whole bunch of fun. But I'm really struggling with it right now. This is absolutely unbelievable. It's like you did something in another life where you don't deserve anything now. But I should have brought a shovel, because I expect the ground is so dry and hard now that we won't be able to even dig into it. So the most insane part, and I've said it before, especially with this piece of the wheat here, this is no good soil and it's really hard. So we actually don't expect much to grow here. For this to be coming up at all is sort of impressive. On the other hand, it's probably seeded at about 9 bushels an acre, because every time I filled the drill from this 400 acres, I would come around here, make my loop, fill the drill, put it in the ground, whatever. Plus, we don't have sectional control, so when you're trying to seed into here, you often overlap. But anyways, there's still, oddly enough, decent color. That's still the molasses drops on the rock from when I sprayed this. That's crazy. Haven't even had enough rain to wash them off. But as we get out here, I think we're gonna start to see some suffering. Super thin, which means things aren't germinating like they should be. I bet you we'll even find ungerminated seeds in here. Leaves are starting to lose some color. I guess they got decent enough roots. Maybe I use this rock to dig. Try to see if there's any moisture at all anywhere. Look at that. That doesn't really appear to be. Now, I suppose there could be a trace, right? We'll call that a trace. I don't know. Oddly enough. Very dry. Very, very dry. More molasses spots on the rock. Hasn't even had enough rain to wash it off. So that's that. I don't understand, like I say, why we can't even catch a couple tenths of rain. Just not our year, I guess. So we are going to have to just hope that, I don't know, this wheat I think is probably going to be a write-off. It's maybe a bit bold to say on the, what is it, the 31st of May. But it's been in the ground for 31 days. So, whew. I wish they could take some genetics out of some of these weeds, because they do grow pretty nice. They don't they are not affected by anything. Frost, drought, heat, hail, snow. Nothing gets a weed. Tillage and chemical. But yet you plant something and it's susceptible to everything. Bugs, cold, frost, snow, rain, too much rain, not enough rain, drought, heat. Almost everything. Almost everything gets the crop you plant. Nothing gets the crop you don't. You look at the grass here, it's like super lush. One thing that we're not too pumped about either is walking through the grass. You get no water on your shoes, so there's no dew, there's no anything. It's just a dry, barren landscape that only grass and weeds can survive in. So just be depressed for the rest of the day, I guess. But I'm going to you can see this slight pock marks in the dirt where we got that much rain yesterday. Just enough to think about looking at the house and going for cover, but not enough to actually pull the trigger on that. You just stay outside because you know it's going to quit in half a second anyways.